Hello there. Greetings, planty people, and welcome back to my jungle. Today, I thought I would show a spotlight on some non-variegated plants that I like, because I feel I am guilty of this. We usually tend to gravitate to the variegated plants, and I thought, you know what? Some of the more plain looking plants still deserve love, and I still love so many of them. How many times can I say love? And hello, if you're new here, my name's Jules. I have too many plants. Well, too many. And if you want to be plant buddies, my Instagram and TikTok are linked down below. Right, what shall we start with? So this one is a Rhaphidophora decursiva. I think it's also known as mermaid tail or something like that. And as you can see, it's poking me in the face. It's still quite small, as I got this in a swap with Build Your Jungle, aka Sophie, and they sent me some lovely goodies, and this was one of them. So this was a already rooted cutting, I think it was in moss, and I thought, you know what, it's ready to pot up, and since having it, this beautiful shoot's come out and it's just about to unravel, so I'm very excited about this. And I love this one because look how unique the shape of the leaf is. I just think that's so cool. You don't get many leaves shaped like this, and as they get more mature, they go a little bit more, I don't know how to describe it to you. I'll see if I can find a photo. They just develop into a different shape, essentially, which is actually quite common with a lot of these plants that in the wild they look completely different. Anyway, I'm getting away from the point. Yes, love this one. So far it's been super easy. I know I haven't had it for the longest time, but I've become really attached to it. And I love the darker green colour that it has. And it's got that gorgeous kind of demi matte, but also a little bit shiny. It's got that almost velvety feel to it. And when they get big, they can grow pretty fast, I've heard. So they're a little bit of a more uncommon find, but I don't think they're too expensive. I was actually looking at getting one of these, but then I got one in a swap, so I was over the moon. But yeah, I just love it. I think it's gorgeous. I can't wait for it to get big. Not sure how I'm going to grow it. Probably going to get it a massive pole and get it as big as I can. Okay, so the next non-variegated plant that I'm absolutely in love with is this philodendron grandipes. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I got this with I think it was a Christmas voucher for Plants for All Seasons, because that's where I get most of my cool plants from, because they've got really good selection and they always have a sale on, so check them out. This one, I hadn't heard of it until I saw it on the website, and I thought, you know what, let's do it. I do love a philodendron, and it's nothing like fancy. It's not variegated. It's not one of those super rare ones everyone looks for. It's a bit more of an unknown one, but it wasn't too expensive. I can't remember how much it was, but it was about around 20 or under. This was absolutely huge. I managed to get a few cuttings of it for the plant swap I went to not long ago, and people were very interested in it, so it speaks for itself. I'm just absolutely in love with the heart shape that you get. It's a little bit reminiscent of the classic scandens, that's the word I'm looking for, but it grows completely different. So it is a climber. Let's see if I can show you close up. So it is a climber, but it grows more kind of like a melanochrysum, but a little bit thinner, if that makes any sense. So you've got lots of aerial roots, which is why I've got a lovely moss pole here, which does need a mist. Also, does anyone know of a way to keep these self-sufficient and wet? I know you can put a bottle on the top, but one, I've got kind of low ceilings, and two, I'm not really keen on the look for I don't want it to look too cluttered, basically. I think you can get like drippers on Amazon, but I don't really know what to look for, so let me know what you do. This is upsized, probably double the size, and bear in mind I have chopped it back a little bit, and I've only had it for a few months, and I genuinely think it's one of my top philodendron, and that's saying a lot because I love philodendron. It's probably my top genus at this point. Spot how many philodendron I have in the background. If you have a chance of getting one of these, I highly recommend you do. It's very easy. And you don't need to water it too much because it's got nice kind of, well, they're not thick, but they're like succulently thin, if that makes any sense to you. So the next one is actually in the background, and I can't move it because she's attached to the wall and very big, and I will knock everything over here. But I will leave some B-roll here while I talk, so I'll shuffle over. So of course it's the classic Monstera Sonia. I do love Monstera. I don't have enough varieties, but there aren't as many as philodendron. Anyway, but I have had this for about 4 years now, and I've had to keep chopping it back because I don't have the room for it to get massive. And it's honestly one of the easiest plants I've ever owned. It grows significantly faster than the classic Deliciosa. So if you want something a bit faster and a bit more viney, but still in the Monstera family, get one of these. They're beautiful. I'll shuffle back. And I think I got it from a supermarket, so I repotted it immediately because it was in basically normal compost, and that's a big no-no of tropical plants. If you're new, don't use normal compost. And it really took off. It's on a moss pole. I'm going to try and train it up the ceiling. So I'm going to get these little clippy things like that and grow it up the wall and see how big it gets. So that's exciting. So if you want a really easy plant that doesn't require too much light, they like it bright but not direct, Monstera Sonia, and they're actually really cheap nowadays, so get one of those. Ooh, next one, can you guess what genus it is? Take a wild guess. Philodendron. It's still looking scraggy. I still haven't had the chance to repot it. I think that's my next task to do. I've been procrastinating, and it needs a pole immediately, but I've run out of poles. This is the classic Philodendron Bell Marks non-variegated version. So this is from a plant swap I did with Alina, aka Little Plant Lover. I did say to her I love philodendron, and boy does she deliver. I love this one so much. I think this was also just a rooted cutting and I potted it immediately. I've even had to chop it back a few times to do swaps, and whoa, look at that. I just love the shape of the leaf. I love it's got those big lobes at the top. I just think it's beautiful. Obviously the variegated one is beautiful as well. I did get a cutting of that and it's not looking too good, but I'm not too sad because this one's beautiful. I'm just waiting for the correct time to repot it because the roots are still small in there, so obviously I don't want to upsize it too quickly, but it's spring now, so it should be picking up the pace. And they don't need too much light either. As you can see, before I got a grow light, it started to lean, so I've been gradually rotating it, which is why it's really long. So this is your side. Don't make it too dark, but obviously not too bright. And I don't know if you can see, there's like a little shoot coming off there, 2 shoots coming up at the top. So this is genuinely, like, I'd say even easier than Grandipes. So easy, and I think the costs come quite down, so get one if you can. Hello there, Editing Jules here. Apologies, there is a slight delay in the audio, so it's nothing really I can do about that. At least it's only at the end of the video, so thank you for understanding. And last but not least, how can I do a video about non-variegated plants without mentioning the syconium chiapense? And I have talked about this one quite a lot, I think, but it's genuinely one of my top favourite houseplants, and that's saying something. So I think I got it in the same order as the Grandipes. I think it was like a 3 for 2 situation, and I thought this was the one that I was looking for the most, and boy did it deliver. So this, I believe, I could be wrong, is the non-variegated version of the Frosted Heart, and I love this one because I love syconium, as you probably know. Don't have enough. I have a few, but not enough. But this one just doesn't look like a syconium, and it behaves like a philodendron. There's a few aerial roots popping out, so I'm excited about that. And it seems to be upsizing pretty quickly. So the new leaves, they come through this kind of semi-velvet, so it's very soft but not full velvety like a melanochrysum or something like that. And when they harden off, they're still velvety, but they have more of a sheen, a bit more leathery feel. I am just obsessed with this, and I don't think this plant gets nearly enough love. I just love it so much. I can't wait for it to get absolutely massive, because when they're mature, they look so different, but still so beautiful. I like the way it wobbles. So let me know what plants you love that are non-variegated, because they just deserve more love, I feel. And they tend to be, hit myself in the face, not as expensive, which, you know, not everyone can afford all these fancy plants, so I thought I'd talk about these instead. I will leave all my social medias down below. If you want to be planty friends, let's have a chat. I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a lovely day, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. See you in the next one. Bye bye.